All right, we are live and in a living color. Just here waiting for people to get logged in, hoping that you all can hear me and see me clearly. Let's see if we need to enlarge and be enlarged so I can see. All right, if you don't mind when you get here, just say here. And if you need to ask me something out of the chat room. All right, I know we live in a living color. So we're going to see the number score of how many people are logging in, and plus I've just put out my text number for people who want to have a chat outside of the chat room because they might want to have an anonymous conversation. Because some people, when we're having relationship talks, do not want their business out in the street. And I definitely say if it is something that is personal, don't put it in the street. And we will be talking about some things that might hit home. So if there's some issues or concerns that you're having in your relationship, I definitely want you to ask me. And so tonight, our topic is where's your heart at? One of the images that were posted in the invitation was of a car without an engine. And so that's how we're going to think about our relationship tonight, as a car without an engine, because our relationship missing its engine, missing its heart, is going nowhere. So that's what we're starting with. Looks like the viewers are slowly logging in. So if not, what we will be doing, I will be talking to you and you and you and you. And then we will be just moving on, because I do want to respect the time of everybody that is here and make it possible. So tonight's chat, I really do want you all to talk to me, because I want it to be like a dialogue. Sound like we in the cafe tonight, a little bit more relaxed. Even though I don't really think I've ever had a very uptight meeting or presentation that I ever give, because I'm just kind of laid back like that all of the time. So I want you to feel comfortable that I am kind of like sitting right next door to you and we having a chat laid back. If that's how you can feel this evening. But we are ready to go for everybody that is ready to talk about it. So as I told you, we're talking about where is your heart at? That means, how is your relationship being moved forward? What is pumping? What is giving the energy? Kind of like that engine in the car. When it cranks up, it has muscle, it has strength. Do you have a V6? Do you have a V4? How is it powered? Can it speed through? What is the capacity of the engine in your vehicle that's making your relationship journey smooth, ready, and in charge? So those are the questions to think about. Ask yourself. And this topic kind of made me think and go back to, if you all haven't noticed, if you've listened to any presentation I've done, sometimes I go back real old school music, because I love music. I definitely love old school music, and this music probably was out before my time of birth, but I still love this song, and it really made me think about the topic tonight. Where's your heart? And it is an old OJ song, and it says, "Your body." I'm not gonna sing it, so don't get tricked, because that would be horrible. It would definitely go viral and shut down social media because it would be that horrible. It's your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. It says, you messing me around. I thought you told me you straighten out your life when we agreed to try it one more time. It would be my job to work and protect you and make our home life sublime. But I keep hearing you crying after midnight while the whole world is still. And I know the reason. You hurt to come home. He gives you plenty thrills, but I'm the one who pays the bills. And I know you hear all of that and you can relate to it maybe in some way or not at all, have no understanding of that. But what I highlighted in this, but your mind is on the other side of town. Your mind is on the other side of town. And the thing is, if you think about something long enough, it becomes your heart's desire. And it doesn't matter where your physical presence is, your mind will constantly drift off and desire something else. And that's the desires of your heart. And so that's why the question tonight is, where's your heart at? Because your heart should be desiring to be within your relationship. Nothing should be you desire more than your relationship. Nothing. And I'm going to say that again. There is nothing you should desire more than your relationship. Your heart should be in it so that it can stick with it and commit to make it the full journey on this trek. And then also, I know one of these things that kind of throw people off, because people, when it says he gives you plenty thrills, I'm going to actually kind of play on that a little bit on different topics when we talk about he gives you a little thrill, because it's not going to all be about the flesh and a man and a woman type of relationship. There's other things that steal an individual's heart, and it's not always in a sexual sense. And that's where we place all of our beliefs and treasures. A lot of times when we think about somebody's heart, we always think about it being with another person. We're going to talk about that definitely, because that is definitely a case in the real world, in the society we live in. But we're going to talk more about other things. And when I think about where's your heart at, sometimes we become so cold and heartless that our relationship is actually dead and it's not going anywhere. It's to the point that we became roommates, strangers, not even roommates. We become strangers because we don't even have dialogue. We don't even pay bills together. We are just strangers. So what we're trying to do tonight here at the Relationship Service Station is definitely, if you've gotten to the point that your heart, your engine is not cranking like it should be, we're going to put some cables, some jumper cables, and we're going to clean it out. We're going to charge it up, and we're going to get that engine and that heart back in the right place. And I know it's not all about just having this conversation tonight. So I want you all to definitely hashtag me and contact me if it is some serious, some real issues going on in your life, so that we can actually coach you and help you through those moments. Because it's not about it just a feel good moment of us laid back here at the hangout. I really want you to know that we're here to actually walk you through the process of getting your relationship on track. And it is free for you to call me and contact me so we can talk about whatever it is that you need. So I'm not talking about call me so I can throw a price tag you. I'm talking about call me so we can really talk about the issues. And I put the number over in the chat if you happen to see it. If not, it is 678-905-3550. And so if you're here on the chat, you dialogue with me. If you've arrived and you would like to announce yourself, if you just like to shoot me a text to let me know that you're present, that's at that 678-905-3550. You can do that as well. So the goal is not to be heartless. It's to put an engine back inside your relationship vehicle. So what I want to check out tonight is the condition of your heart. So the condition of your heart, so that means you still got a heart in your engine. What we're talking about is some people are in different places. They might have a broken heart. Their heart might just be distant or disconnected. It might be cold, or it might be overheated. And so you think about an engine in that way. And it's got multiple pieces when you have to start taking an engine apart. You're talking about, you got the head, you got the different pistons, you got the different links, all of those parts, just like your heart. It has valves, it has pumps. So if any of those things misfire because something has actually happened within there physically to break it, or to cause to make it distant so it don't run as smooth as it should, like your heart does in your body, it will cause a dysfunction in your relationship. So those are the things that we are trying to make sure. But you have to be honest with yourself, because a lot of times you jump from one relationship to another relationship, or you've been in the same relationship the whole time, but you have not addressed the things that have been broken, the things that have caused distance, the things that have caused your engine to get so cold and lock up that it's still sitting in the garage. It needs a restoration project in order for it to actually serve its purpose any longer. But you haven't thrown it away. You haven't junked it. So you still have this relationship, but you've become so cold-hearted and distant that you really don't particularly care for each other anymore. And you just have a perfunctory relationship to people on the outside. You just say that we are married, but there is no love. There is no heart in the relationship. And overheated means you're constantly arguing. The heat is continuing going. So we're not talking about good heat. We're not talking about the fire, the romance kind of heat. We're talking about anger heat, where you burnt up your engine and the block has run too hot because you don't have enough water. You don't have enough balance in your relationship. It's just a constant, continuous arguing that goes on in this relationship. Those are the type of things that you have to check to make sure the condition of your relationship is going right. So I do need you all to talk about things with me, but I mean, I have a very simple presentation, and I'm gonna kind of just throw some stuff out there because I do want to know what the condition of your heart is, where you are. Now, we're gonna start with the first thing about when we talked about where's your heart at. Some people's hearts are at the affair stage, and of course the affair stage sometimes is the fleshly stage, the actual sex, the actual pornography. And one of the things that were posted within the invitation was about where do you live. So if your heart is your home, where do you live? Do you live in a place of pornography? Do you live in a place of only your flesh? What is driving your vehicle? Is your heart being driven by the flesh? Is your heart being driven by sight, by hearing? What is it that drives your heart in your relationship that gets you away and outside of your primary relationship, that your heart can never be there? And I say primary relationship because everybody that's probably logged on is not necessarily married. And this heart concept is not just for people who are in a marriage. If you are dating somebody, your heart needs to be in there, or you need to stop wasting their time. Your heart needs to be there for yourself, so you can be honest about where your relationship with yourself is going. Because if you're not putting that type of love, if you've put yourself secondary to your flesh, that you are not nurturing yourself to get the other, your spiritual, your physical self together, flesh will take over. Now, it's amazing as it is, people always like to talk about the flesh, but you know what? You have more people who have affairs with drugs and alcohol than they ever have with their flesh. And we always like to call them addicts, but that is truly an affair, because they fall in love, they lose their life, they lose their mind because they need that high. So where they live is in the crack houses, or they live in the liquor store, or they live in the streets, because their heart becomes so dysfunctional that they have no capability to love anything except the high. And those people definitely need to seek help, because you cannot see reality because of the high. And definitely want you to get out of the need of the high. Your relationship should give you some type of satisfaction, but it's not like a drug or euphoria when you're together, but then when you get it, it wears off at some point. Your love should be like something that keeps you in a constant level of peace, a constant level of balance, not give you some type of drug addicted euphoria. Then there are people who are addicted to food, who love food more than anything else. Now, I'm a recovering sugar addict, but I have never loved food more than I've loved an individual, where I would eat before thinking about somebody else. Now, there are people who eat, and all their primary concern is food. And then you have people now in the world that we live in, they're addicted to social media. They sit up all night on social media, whether it's playing the games, whether it's conversating with somebody else through Messenger, or what they have group chats. They have so many different types of apps that you can connect with people in unhealthy ways. And the affair becomes because you've connected with all of these things in some other type of intimate relationship. That's the thing, because you've given your heart over to these things, and it has become an intimate, entwined affair. And how do you gauge your heart condition to see if it's in an affair yet? How much of your time do you give to these things? So the reality is, you need to chart out, you need to plot out how much of your time are you giving to the affair. Because if you've given too much time, then it's becoming a fear, it's becoming an addiction, all of these things. Because it has to be a balance, everything that we do along this life, and definitely along our love and relationships. Now, I know I have a very close friend, and they would probably fall out because I'm not going to use their name, but if they were on this link, they would probably give me an amen, because they know that their life, they have, their heart belongs to their money, because they live for work. And when I say you live for work, because your whole life is about work, it's about making the money, but you don't even understand why you're making the money. But the money takes over your health, the money takes over your eating, the money takes over the time that you spend with the people that you love. And that's becoming a workaholic. And that is a different type of addiction as well. It's because either you're working to run away from people, and it's not really the work that you love, but you're avoiding a real relationship. Or it's because you're working because the job and the money has become what you love, because you're afraid. A lot of people become in love with money because they're afraid of being broke, or they're afraid of being without. But all the fear has done is fueled an addiction in your life. So you have to be careful about that addiction in your life when it's fueling. Now, then there is another mentality in this financial world. What people will say, I provide. So what else do you expect from me? I provide you with everything financially capable. I provide. And they become addicted with that type of financial power, the control. And that's where their heart lies. They have no emotional connection to you. They have nothing else to do with you except they've given you financial provision. And a lot of people like to get that perverted in the Bible when they talk about a man that I provide for you. And we, as parents, we get that confused when it says I provide, but you also supposed to provide nurturing. You're supposed to provide love. You're supposed to provide direction. You're supposed to provide kindness. You're supposed to provide a sense of intimacy with your mate. That is where your heart lies. So it says home is where the heart is. So that means your home is in your bank account, or your home is in your work, because those are the things that you strive and work towards so diligently. So want to make sure that you have a healthy balance when you are talking about where your heart is. Make sure that you're not giving anything more to these outer sources than you are to a viable relationship. So that's very important. Now, always what comes along is the lack of commitment. In love with the idea of being in love. So I want to be loved. I don't want to be lonely. I want somebody to come home to. But realize a commitment means I love you when the vehicle is broke down. I love you when the vehicle needs to be restored. I love you when there is a lot of maintenance and work to be done. I love you when it's all ugly all the time. I love you whatever I have to do to keep this journey going. That is the type of commitment, not love with and being the idea of being loved because what you worry about what other people think. That's not because your heart is in it. Your heart is not in it. There is no commitment because you are not involved in it with your heart. And that goes back to the song that we started off this journey with, that your body is here. A lot of people are physically in a relationship. I know people who have been married 50 plus years, but their heart isn't in it. Nowhere in it. They don't even know how to define happy for themselves, joy and peace, and they don't worry about that because they say it's just been so long. But don't allow yourself to be in a relationship where you can't find happy, where you can't find joy, but that you've just settled and told yourself, well, I've made peace with that. Okay, but now work on getting your heart and your commitment to making the love be back in it. Otherwise, you still aren't in a relationship. You back to a roommate, you back living with a stranger. And those are the things that we are definitely trying to get away from. That's the point of coming to Relationship Service Station, is to get your marriage vehicle worked on so you can have a wonderful, pleasurable, enjoyable relationship ride. And I see I always get the quiet group. Nobody ever wants to come and enjoy with me and talk about what we got going on. So just lay back and think about, where is your heart at? Where do you truly live? What is your balance? How is your life constructed? If you have somebody, what I need you to think about is, do you place a priority? Do they know that you love them? Do they know that your heart is with them? So when you all together, that's home. A lot of people consider home to be an address. That's your house. That's a dwelling that you can move at any time, the furniture and the luggage. But they say home is where the heart is, because that's a feeling, that's a welcome, that's an atmosphere that's created by people who are there to give you that. So if you do not set up an atmosphere of love, that means it may be hard for them to bring their heart home. Be careful on how you say, I love you, if there is absolutely no commitment in it, because your actions will show where your heart really exists in a relationship. So for all of you all that's being very hush hush and y'all want to hit me up directly, you all can definitely text me at 678-905-3550. And luckily this is being recorded for everybody who couldn't make it live, and you can still text me to have a conversation about this where's the heart at conversation later. And realize we do this Relationship Service Station every third Thursday of the month. And I'd love just sitting here kind of laid back, not really stuffy talking. I don't think I do any stuffy talking. So, but if you regularly want to see me, we are in the midst of a 40-day relationship detox, and I'll put the hashtag in the chat room, so that way when the recording comes out, it's part of the chat for everybody to see, and everybody that's on the line, just in case we have an issue spelling it. I want to make sure you join us. If you just Google the hashtag, it will take you to the word that we are speaking about every day. You can grab your calendar in the 40-day relationship detox, because just like I'm trying to improve your heart condition, I want to improve your mind condition, because if you clean your thoughts, you clean your actions, that means you start off with a renewed and a clean heart. So 40-day relationship detox, that hashtag is put there. Definitely join us. The videos are posted every day to give you an example so you can implement it in your life. And it's more than just giving you a tool, it's giving you a means to implement it. And that is all we do at the Relationship Service Station, is we give you tools and then we provide you a guide on how to implement it. But definitely, I want to definitely invite everybody that's here, and I want to encourage you to invite other people. But let me tell you, it is limited to only 12 couples, And this is for the event coming up in March in Atlanta. We will be having some events in other cities, but of course, in my hometown, Atlanta, we got to start spring off launching our Relationship Service Station. It is our weekend marriage workshop, and it is a Friday lunch and learn, a date night experience, and it's going to be sizzling hot. Might be a little sexy for some of you all, but it's supposed to be lighting the flames and putting a little romance back in your life. And then Saturday we will be having some workshops. We've invited 2 other couple experts to talk about relationships. We're going to do some workshops and have some interaction going on Saturday. So put it on your calendar, share with other people, and that is March the 11th through the 12th. So we'll see you on Friday and Saturday here in Atlanta. Let me add that link too. I'm going to link you all up tonight. Make sure my spelling is good. Make sure I got the right backslash on there. And that is the weekend marriage workshop. Looking forward to introducing you all to some other relationship experts and definitely having a good weekend. That is March the 11th and March the 12th. And it is open only to 12 couples. So if you are interested, definitely click on this link. And that is the end of the relationship service station for this night. I appreciate you all hanging out with me at the Google Hangouts, even though you all are a quiet, laid back crew. But I look forward to seeing you all next third Thursday. And hey, if you have a topic or an idea, please submit it. Send it to 678-905-3550. Send it in and we will be chatting here live and enjoying the session. Also, look forward in April. We will be having some guests here on the Hangout to talk about a book that's written to actually take you all on a journey too. So enjoy the ride. And if you need to stay connected with us, make sure you hashtag us, call us, and we are always here to help you on the relationship journey to have your best marriage journey. See you all tomorrow in the morning at the 40-day relationship detox. This is Courtney, the marriage maintenance master relationship mechanic, signing off.